This is the plaintiff, John. He says he purchased a car from the defendants, and they failed to tell him the car had been in a serious accident and it voided the warranty. They also failed to tell him the airbags were inoperable. It's going to cost him big bucks to fix them, and he's here suing the unscrupulous rip-off artists for the $3,176.15 he's now out. These are the defendants, Alexander and Mark. Alexander says the plaintiff had the car thoroughly inspected before he purchased it from them. He knew it had been in an accident, and he saw the airbag light was illuminated. How this guy thinks he can come after them now when they were totally upfront and honest is crazy. But hey, it's a free country. They're accused of withholding information.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought a car. Turns out the defendant, he says, didn't disclose the car was in a bad accident and had airbag problems, but the defendant says the plaintiff went in eyes wide open. It's the case of a crash course in buying cars.
Okay, John, you are suing Alexander and Mark and your mom, your wife, who not only doesn't want her last name mentioned, she doesn't want to be here and gave you power of attorney. All right, you're suing that side for $3,472.38 that you say you are due from them for repairs for a car they sold you that apparently had more problems than you bargained for. Tell me what happened.
That's correct. I located the ad on eBay. I liked the car. I contacted the seller. We discussed the car briefly.
Who was the seller?
Alex.
Okay, Alex is the son?
Yes.
Okay, and was your name the only name on the car, or were all three names on the car?
It was my dad's name on the car.
Just the dad's name on the car. Okay, go on.
We discussed the purchase of the car. We discussed the lien amount on the car. And if I liked the car, I'd come down with the check to satisfy the lien, and I would drive it home the same day.
Okay. How much was the lien?
$15,000 and change.
Okay, so you sold the car to him for $15,000?
16.5, I believe it was.
Does that sound right?
That's about right.
Okay, so go on.
I immediately noticed some things that weren't mentioned in the eBay ad. Bald tires in the back. The shifter was worn out.
This is before you bought it, right?
Yeah, before I bought it. So I noticed a couple things when I looked at the car. Test drove it for a short test drive. Then I liked the car, so we negotiated a price, and we settled on a price.
Okay, and you bought it?
Yes, I bought the
Okay,
car.
did you have it seen by a mechanic before you bought it?
No, I looked at it myself.
Okay, are you a mechanic?
I've been working on cars for a long time, but
Oh,
I'm not a
good,
mechanic.
okay. All right, so then what happens?
Well, during the course of my looking at the car, Alex did tell me that the car was in an accident. It was in the front passenger side, and so I paid specific attention to that and checked it over. The car looked like it was in pretty good shape.
Okay,
And so I settled and bought the car, drove
Okay.
it home. So
why are you suing them?
lots of problems.
Okay,
On the drive home, check engine light came on. That was for the first thing. Well, actually, when I looked at the car, the airbag light was on. I asked Alex what was going on with the airbag light. He told me that he brought it to a shop and they couldn't tell what was wrong with it. I had to take it to the dealer. And since the car had an extended warranty, I assumed that the car, whatever damage to the airbag system or malfunction, would be covered under warranty.
did you check that before you bought the car?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
So after I got the car home, on the drive home, further home, I found out that one of the lights was out. One of the lights was burnt out. So when I got home, I did some work on the car. I started taking the car apart. I found out that in addition to the burned out light, there was a crack in the windshield washer tank, which was in the vicinity of the front passenger side. And I also, later on, I did some additional work.
is that visible when you open the hood?
No, it's not.
Okay,
You have to take the fascia off.
so why would, okay, go on.
Yeah, I had no reason to believe that the windshield wiper tank was
Yeah, he
damaged.
had no reason to believe it either. He's not a car guy. And if you had to take a car apart to find out, how the heck would you know? I mean, he's selling you a used car, and he's a private party. He's not a dealer. So why would you think that there's this magical warranty as though it's a new car? What year car was this?
2011.
2011 Ford Mustang. I mean, you know, if this is something that's completely invisible to, how old are you?
23.
To young 23-year-old Alex, when what did he do wrong? What are you suing them for? Because
Well,
there's no lemon law on a used car.
My assumption is that the car was in an accident and the car is not fixed properly. I have no proof, but I think the car was...
I kind of deal in proof. It's kind of like, I kind of insist on it. You know what I mean?
So this guy knew there were airbag problems, made all sorts of assumptions, never took it to a mechanic. Is he out of luck?
He is out of luck.
So how do you protect yourself in a situation like that?
You can't. You're subject to whatever laws are in place, and if there's no contract, it's implied or verbal contract.
Are you buying that there's no way to protect yourself when you buy a used car?
There's no way to protect yourself. I mean, you're buying it at your own risk, pretty much.
No way to protect yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, the veteran wants to talk again.
Yeah, there's a way to protect yourself, because if a person doesn't disclose that there really is something wrong with the car.
I'll let you talk just because I think the hat and the shirt so damn well going inside the courtroom.
What ended up happening? You found out that the airbags have a problem. It's not covered by the extended warranty, and that it's going to come out of your pocket if you want to fix the airbags, right?
Right. The
and it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yes.
It's like $2,200.
Yes.
Right. But you want them to pay it. Okay. By what law or moral responsibility or enforceable moral responsibility must they pay for your airbags? What did they do wrong when they sold your car? What did they hide from you? What did they lie about? What?
Well, the car was in an accident. The insurance...
Which you'd say he told you about when you were looking at the car.
Right. I had got the car
So he didn't
fax.
hide that. Okay.
No. I got the Carfax, showed the accident.
Before
And-
you bought the car?
No, after I bought the car.
Oh, okay.
So...
Isn't that what that stupid fox always says? Do that before you buy the car? Okay. But either way, he had actually told you about the accident. That wasn't news. So go ahead.
He had told me about the accident. I knew about the airbag, but I assumed it was just a malfunctioning system.
Okay, so you assumed. So what? So they got to pay you because you assumed something? I mean, tell me what happened. What happened in that accident?
I was basically driving a little bit too fast. I hit a curb. Most of the damage was to underneath the car, but the airbags did not deploy.
Okay. So did your insurance company make the repairs?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And how much did they pay to make repairs?
About $3,500, I believe it was.
Do you have that paperwork? Or
Yes,
not?
I do.
May I see it? Does it say anything about airbags?
Nothing about airbags on there.
Right. And then you find out that do you have something from a mechanic
Yes,
that says
I
that
have
the
something from
airbags
the
were
Ford
as a
dealer.
result of the accident?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You would have to remove the seat and inspect it to discover that it needs new passenger seat module. Yeah, I don't see how young Alexander or his dad have anything to do with your misfortune.
Well,
They have to see, a used car sale is an as-is sale. Unless there's a lie that they tell you and you relied on the lie to buy the car, or unless they know there's a problem and they hide the problem from you.
they had to have known.
They had to have known what?
They had to have known because the airbag light has been on since the accident.
First of all, they knew the exact same thing you knew when you bought the car anyway, and you're a car guy. They knew the airbag light was on. If they went through insurance, which is why they pay their premiums, and they knew that there was an airbag problem, you don't think they would have made their insurance company pay for an airbag problem? You think that dad wanted son to drive around without operating airbags? Yeah, you're out of gas. You're completely out of gas, John. This is just not a case where it's their fault. Sometimes bad things happen to us, and we have to eat it. Other people don't have to eat it unless they did something wrong. They did nothing wrong. You have zero evidence that they knew about it. In fact, the evidence that they had the accident, told you about the accident, had insurance pay for the accident, shows me they didn't know about the airbags. That's what that shows me. And you, a car guy, had to take a car apart to even realize it. And Ford had to take the car apart. No dice. Verdict for the defendants.
All right, guys. Both sides, please.
So the plaintiff fails to prevail in his $3,100 lawsuit against the defendants. What do you think about what the judge had to tell you?
Well, unfortunately, she may have been right, but my beef was really with Geico because I think they did not properly diagnose and fix the car.
Well, I mean, had they known it, they would have obviously pushed Geico to fix it. But
Well,
apparently they just didn't know. No one knew.
I had messaged Alex to contact Geico, and I never heard back, so that's when I filed suit against them.
Sorry about that. You live and learn when you buy a used car, you know. Tough luck. Sorry about that. Still have the car?
Yes, I do.
You're going to get it fixed?
Yes.
Okay, good enough.
All right.
You'll have to pay for it yourself. Sorry about that. Now, here come the defendants, Alexander and Mark. You were just selling the car to get rid of it, right?
Yes,
That's why you
correct.
advertised it on eBay. Okay, well, look, good for you. The judge found in your favor. You should feel good.
I'm happy. It's how I
Okay, I
expected
mean,
it
feel
to turn
sorry for
out.
him, of course.
Yeah.
But,
It's a shame, but beyond our control.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must sign some documents. Harvey, we all learn a lesson about buying a used car, right?
Okay, Doug, here's the way to protect yourself. Take the damn car to a mechanic before you buy it. And if it costs money to go to a mechanic, make a deal with the seller and say, look, if I buy the car, you split the cost of the mechanic with me. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.